Hello, this is PG, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing the Dead Space remake on the Xbox Series X. It's also on PC and PlayStation 5. Dead Space is a survival horror game developed by Motive Studio. This version is a remake of the 2008 game which spawned a trilogy of survival horror classics. In Dead Space, you play as Isaac Clarke, a crew member of a repair vessel assigned to investigate the USG Ishimura. Isaac and his crewmates then embark on a perilous adventure into a dark and mysterious story involving all manner of horrific entities. Okay, gameplay. Well, it's a survival horror game at heart, which means you'll be exploring the Ishimura slowly but surely. Soon enough, you'll come to the realization that something has gone awry, to say the least, as you encounter your first necromorph. The necromorphs are your main foes in Dead Space, and they are a life form that inhabits the corpses of fallen comrades. These monstrosities look like something straight out of The Thing, with extended limbs, horrific faces, and disgusting methods of killing off poor old Isaac. The necromorphs are as scary as they are persistent, with the only way to stop them sometimes being to dismember their limbs and head. Thankfully, Isaac has a pretty interesting arsenal of weapons to aid him, but they're not conventional firearms, instead they are energy based. You have the plasma cutter, which can be rotated to take off specific limbs, rifles and other energy based weapons that are not only fun to use, but also they look insane. I've got some amazing visual effects when you're in the midst of it. Along with these weapons, you've got a cool mining suit to help you survive. The suit isn't just used for protection though, it has built-in skills that are essential if you're going to make it through the game. The skills are Kinesis and Stasis. Kinesis allows you to lift and throw objects around, solve puzzles, use makeshift weapons. Stasis, what does it do? It slows time down, gives you a chance. If you're overrun by hazardous enemies, you can slow down time and get the hell out of there. Now these are simple skills at heart, but they do add so much inventive variety to how you can actually play the game. Both the suit and the weapons can be upgraded over time once you find the correct blueprints, although these can only be done with nodes, which are a very precious resource that you occasionally stumble upon on your travels. The game world is broken up into small districts on the Ishimura, which they're all accessed via the tram system, although they do need to be unlocked via story elements. It is not a massive game world, but it feels big, you know what I mean? You slowly sneak around this dark and dangerous space station, and it's just really, one thing that's really worth mentioning is how immersive the game is. There aren't any sort of cutaway menus, pause screens. Everything game related is dealt with via Isaac's suit interface or icons on the back of his suit, whether it's health, whether it's ammo, the map, the intercom. And what does this do? Well, this makes you forget that you're playing a video game because you're always in the mix. You're not cut away in some separate screen. It's all happening in the moment. And that, let me tell you, that only adds to the tension, the fear, the atmosphere, and it is such a great method of presenting a game. Now this remake does change and add a few things from the original. This time Isaac Clarke has a voice, but he sounds a bit wet, to be honest, and I cannot say this change added value. And I think that's an interesting thing to consider, you know, when you're remaking such an iconic and brilliant game, how do you change things without making the game worse? Isaac in the original had a brooding mystery to him, but here he just sounds a bit pathetic, and I just wish they'd left that alone. I mean, what else has changed? Well, the gore system, that's more complex, which means you can have some truly disgusting enemy kills. My god, gross. The zero gravity boots that you have, they've got boosters now. Again, I don't think that adds value. I think that just makes the game less dangerous and easier because you can just get away from trouble a lot quicker. And the anti-gravity, zero gravity parts, they're tense. They used to be, not so much now. The other thing I wasn't keen on was how you actually procure weapons. In the original, you had to buy them at a store. This time, you just find them around the game world, which for me, is a bit too easy. Because last time, you had to spend credits wisely. Make a style choice about what's your loadout going to be like. Here, you just pick it up. Oh, there it is, thanks. Story-wise, generally very strong stuff. In terms of like a planet mining group uncovering something on a planet that they shouldn't. It's got mystery, it's got strange alien artifacts, it's got these horrible necromorphs. And it's just a diabolical and beautiful adventure that's horrific and delightful in the same measure. Add to that sort of strange religious cults, corporate entities, and poor old Isaac caught in the middle. What a day, eh? What a day. Anyway, visually, it's a marked improvement on the original with fantastic lighting effects, gruesome gore, and it sure does look very nice indeed. The sound is fantastic, yet subtle. The music in particular. There's also really good ambient effects, sound effects. It's such a dark and twisted soundscape. What a sci-fi hellhole the Ishimura is, my god. The voice acting in general I would say was good, barring Isaac, who I just think didn't need to be voice acted, but what can you do? What can you do? Anyway, verdict. The Dead Space remake is a minor reimagining of a survival horror classic. Visually, it's a definite improvement, but in other areas I'd say it fails to deliver the same level of tension that the original achieved. Also, I would question the changes, such as zero gravity boosters, which make it easier to get away from the necromorphs, the way that the weapons are just given to you rather than you having to earn them. These little aspects, however small, they do lower the overall quality of the experience, and I would say if there was ever a video game that did not need a remake, it was Dead Space. The original, it's got to be one of the best survival horror games of all time, and it's still as good as anything else that's out there right now. But those things aside, look, I'd say this remake is worth playing through, absolutely. If you're a fan of the original or a new player to the story, yes, this is well worth playing. I would say perhaps the best version is still the original in my eyes, but then I'm a bit older, a bit nostalgic about it. They're both bloody good games though. Scoring wise, the original Dead Space, I think I gave it 9.8 out of 10, so almost perfect. Here, I would say the score's slightly lower. I'd probably give it 8.5 out of 10 for this remake. Still a very good game, one that I enjoyed. Not as good as the original, in my eyes, but there you go, that's the review. Thanks for watching. This is PG, signing off. Cheers.